Oh yeah, the man of the moment is here on Sky News. Congratulations!
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Thanks. Oh, the head's just everywhere. It's just crazy. It's just a whirlwind since I finished, and yeah, I don't think it'll sink in to actually get home and close that front door and sit on the sofa and actually reflect on it a bit.
Talk me through the last few weeks.
Wow, it was just so intense at all. You know, every day there's something happening in the race. There's, you know, crashes and punches and, you know, the fans and all the media, and it's just one big circus on the road, really. And so yeah, it goes so quick, but it also seems to take forever at the same time. But yeah, it was just an amazing 3 weeks for myself. Couldn't have gone any better. Winning 2 mountain stages back to back and winning up Alpe d'Huez, which is probably the most iconic climb in cycling. So, and then to keep the jersey then all the way through to Paris was just insane. Yeah, crazy.
When did you start to believe?
Obviously after my second win I knew I was obviously in good shape, but it was the first time I'd raced over 3 weeks for the win. So it was a bit of an unknown and I just didn't really think about it. I just sort of thought about each day as it came. And yeah, it wasn't until maybe the night before the time trial on the very last day and I was like, oh, this could actually happen. So, but yeah, it was just an incredible feeling. I think, you know, once that time trial had finished, it just like the emotion just all came then. You kind of like let your guard down almost, you know, and really soak it up. And it was just amazing. And my wife was there at the finish as well. I didn't know she was coming. And yeah, it was amazing.
You gave us a bit, we were having kittens when you had that wobble on the time trial. What happened? Because I mean, you have been known to crash once or twice in the past, haven't you?
Yeah, it was obviously a bit of wet roads and I was feeling good and I was just pushing a little too hard, I guess. And then Nico, the director in the car behind, just told me to settle down, just don't push too hard, just make sure you stay upright and get round in one piece. Because I was 2 minutes in front of Tom Dumoulin, who was second at the time, and yeah, he was just like, just make sure you get round this stage and don't worry about the stage we're in, just win the Tour de France. And yeah, that's what I did.
You've taken part in the race many times before, but you've always been the bridesmaid rather than the bride, haven't you? I think it's fair to say that. Chris Froome, you've been his wingman, and suddenly he's there for you. How did that conversation go?
Well, it was crazy, really. It's just sort of, he was the leader going into the race, I was the backup leader, and at the end of the day, the road decides, as you say. You know, somebody, you know, is always going to be the stronger, and it's just going to show. And the last mountain top finish, Froome, he lost maybe 45 seconds, and that's when it was kind of like, okay, yeah, it's all for me now. And but yeah, it could have been awkward, it could have been tension, but there wasn't any at all. You know, Froome was so good about it.
Talk to us about the conversation.
Well, nothing really had to be said. It was kind of, everyone knew, you know, after his bad day that, yeah, he was too far behind to win now and I had the best chance, so it was just support me. And he was genuinely happy for me. And yeah, it was just really good.
He's had to deal with a lot of stress though, hasn't he? And, you know, there's been a lot that the French crowds have not been particularly kind to him. How's he dealt with that? And do you think that impacted on his performance at all?
I think it must affect him in some way, but he didn't show it. I think that's the biggest strength of his, I think, and the most impressive thing about Froome is the way his mental strength and how he deals with all adversities and things like that. And it doesn't really affect him. It motivates him more. And yeah, so really admire him for that.
He's not here. Where is he?
He's expecting his second child any moment now. So Michelle, his wife, was hanging on the last few days, I think, just for him to finish the tour. And yeah, well, I expected any moment.
And what sort of advice did he give you about the Champs-Élysées and riding down the Champs-Élysées together through the finishing line and then up on the podium? Because it must all be a blur.
Yeah, he said just to try to soak it up, take it all in. And yeah, he said like his life for me will change now. And he said just, yeah, try to have a good team around me almost to prioritise things and, yeah, not lose sort of you know, it just go bonkers. So try to just.
You went a bit bonkers last night.
Yeah, a bit too. I didn't do myself any favours really.
Tell us.
So we got in about 5, and yeah, like my head now, I'm just struggling to think of string sentences together.
I saw you on the coke earlier, so that's trying to. Yeah, it's always a good thing for a hangover, I'm told. When you were looking out, and you were what was going through your mind when you were looking out at that sea of people? Did it take you back to when you first started with your, you know, your second-hand bike, your mountain bike? Was it a Wolf?
Yeah. It was. It's crazy to think that there then and now. You know, when I think back to just learning to ride a bike down the lane down the back of our house, and yeah, I'm racing around the park on a mountain bike, and suddenly I'm racing in the Tour, winning the Tour. It's just insane. You know, running home from school to watch the end of the Tour de France, and then seeing, you know, the yellow jersey going and shaking the VIP's hands on the stage and whatever, and then I'm the one doing that. It's stuff for dreams.
Talk to us about when you first realised that cycling was for you, because you had this second-hand mountain bike, and apparently one of the first races you did, you got so lost and you were so tired when you got home that you had to press the bell with your forehead because you just didn't have the energy in your arms. Is that right?
Maybe exaggerated a little bit.
Oh, we'll go with it. We'll go with it.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it's I think the most I've ever suffered was when I did the Tour the first time. It was back in 2007. I was 21 and the youngest rider in the race, and I just suffered every day. And yeah, there was times then like I couldn't even be bothered walking down the corridor to go to massage. You know, it was just everything was an effort. So yeah, you just need to just think back to those times, and this. Then I realised, I'm not actually suffering that bad now.
And the transition from being a track cyclist to being on the road, how difficult did you find that?
It's tough when you're going between the two, like in the same sort of year. So like when you're preparing for like the Olympics, say, and you're on the track in the winter, and then you come and do a road race, then there's a big difference then, because you lack the endurance, and you know, you have the explosive power, and you can go for 4 minutes super fast, but then to go for 4 hours is a bit more of a challenge. But once I left the track after the London Olympics, each year has been a nice steady progression, and yeah, it's insane really how I'm sat here now having won the Tour. It's still just crazy.
What's next?
Get some sleep, I think, first. But yeah, I think I go to Belgium tomorrow actually. I've got a race there. It's only like an hour, so it's not too bad. And yeah, I'm not sure what my next race for the team will be, but I think just enjoy this now. Go back to Cardiff and celebrate with some family and friends.
You've given Team Sky quite a challenge now, haven't you? I mean, who's the lead rider now?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting talks when it comes to planning the season next year. And you know, obviously, I have my ambitions, and Froome has his, obviously, as well. So we'll see how it works. But if the same thing happened next year, I'd be happy with that. But I don't know. I think, yeah, we'll see.
What's your advice to young people who are watching you this afternoon and they think, you know what, I'm going to go out on my bike and I'm going to ride around the park?
Go and do it. It's you know, if you have a dream, just go after it. Just believe in it, and you're going to get setbacks along the way. But stay positive and keep working hard. And you work hard, and you always, you know, you commit and dedicate yourself to something. Good things will happen in the end, and yeah, just go for it.
What did your wife say when you won?
She couldn't believe it. She was, well, same as me. I think we both sort of had that same attitude of not thinking about the end, not thinking about winning, and then suddenly it happens, and it's just like, wow, and yeah, it was crazy. You
do know you've won, don't you? It has sunk in.
It hasn't. It's bonkers, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Huge congratulations. We're so proud of you here at Sky. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Wow. See you soon. Thank you. That was amazing.
Cheers.